Hey, it's us, it's me, it's him, it's him, it's both of us, we're here, it's a Filmageddon Vodcast. Hello everybody, how's it going today on this lovely Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening, depending on, well, or wherever you are, maybe later in the evening. Adam, how the heck are you, sir?
I'm all right. I'm okay. You know what? Our internet went down this week for a bit, and I think it's back up now as we're talking. So, yeah, it was. Do you know what? I think you realize that, like, in regular life, how much you depend on being online all the time. But fuck me, when it's lockdown and the internet goes off, I was like, but now what do I do? I can't go anywhere. And maybe I'll play Farming Simulator. And I'm like, well, this is boring. This is just like work. So yeah, I'm all right. I've recovered now from the outage. I'm okay. I mean, you know, generally speaking. How about you? How are you? How are you feeling?
I am feeling fine. Fine as you can feel. It's been another busy week. There's a lot going on this week, obviously, with the quiz coming up, which we'll talk about later. But then, there's a bit, doing bits of stuff around the house, trying to get the dog out. You know, the weather is back and forth every day here. Some days it's summer, some days it feels like it's winter again. So it's a nice little mix up, and it keeps you on your toes. Same with the government. They change every day. They say one thing, they say another. Who knows what's happening? All I know is I have to stay alert. Stay alert. Alert for what? We'll see. I guess the virus and things. But yeah, it's fine. I've been watching a lot of stuff actually. I go through peaks and valleys of being able to watch stuff a lot of the time, and the last couple of days I've taken in a lot of media into my eyeballs, into my ear holes. So it's been fine. Yeah, you can't, we live this life, this sort of half-life of ours now, all of us collectively. But yeah, no, it's fine, and it's a new week, and there's a quiz tomorrow, and that is something to be excited about, because it's not any quiz, Adam. It's not just any quiz.
Nope.
No.
Tell me more about this quiz. Now, you say it's a quiz. You mean a film quiz?
It is not a film quiz. The film quiz.
Exactly. There you fucking go. That's right, man. Let's pimp ourselves.
Come
on, everyone. Stand up.
Get
up, Frank. Come on, let's get up.
All right. Where am I going? Okay.
Keep talking. I'll just keep dancing.
I'll come back because my microphone, they won't be able to hear it. Yes, we have the Filmageddon live lockdown film quiz. That is going to be, obviously, tomorrow, Wednesday, starting at 8 p.m. As always, we're going to have the room open for everybody at 7:30. With our little 30-minute countdown. Everybody, get in, get a part of it, enjoy, get involved with the chat. If you've got a Twitch account, hey, if you don't have a Twitch account, it is free to make, and it takes like 2 seconds, but you don't need to have a Twitch account to do the quiz, and yeah, it's going to be good. I think, what sets us apart, and we've said it before, is that this one is all new questions. It's actually 8 rounds as opposed to 6, so you're looking at a bit longer of a quiz, all new content. I mean, the rewind quizzes are obviously a hell of a lot of fun. I love doing them. But there's something about creating an all new one. Besides the stress. Forget the stress, because it is stressful sometimes. It comes down to the wire. I mean, I just finished putting the finishing touches on this thing yesterday evening.
Okay.
But I think it's a good quiz. There are definitely some things that some sort of rounds and also some topics that we've never sort of done here on the quiz. There's an interesting picture round, which if you know sort of this kind of things I'm into, maybe if you've heard some of the other podcasts I'm on, you might give you a little insight on what that could be. We've got a returning box office mofo round, which is going to be an interesting one. It's going to have a nice, interesting twist to it this time out because hey, it's been an interesting year at the box office, hasn't it?
It's been a year. I don't know how much a box office was involved in it, but it's certainly been a year.
Yeah, and of course, some of our favorites from all the quizzes, famous film quotes will be there. The obscured round will be there. Oh, I think maybe some of the big actors who were involved with the last quiz might be coming back as well. I think there was a little quad of actors, really recreating scenes, some of their favorite scenes. They're really, really high up the acting skill tree there. I'm trying to think. We've tried to get them back. Hopefully that they will appear. Adam, you seem a bit worried.
I'm worried. I did. I've got to confess. I did. I sent them to my copy to my family. Mixed response. Sister, who's sort of close to my age, I think got nearly all of them. Maybe 3. On the flip side, my dad said, "Don't know who the fuck any of this is," and I know he's watched one of those films recently because I forced him to watch it. So, we'll see. We'll see how people are going to do with this. Liberties have been taken with the acting.
That's kind.
The editing, fine, but the acting liberties. You've got to, the people who are going to be in this aren't necessarily paid actors. Nor would anybody pay them to be actors. Although I guess one of them has been in Skyfall.
There's a fly in my tea, and it's really a buzzkill, eh?
Oh,
eh?
Don't.
Yes.
Please.
So the quiz. That's right. 8:00. Be there. Tell everybody. We will release the link to the Google Answers sheet tomorrow, about an hour before the quiz. We'll be sure to tweet out all the links. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all those places. We are going to be screaming it from the rooftops all day tomorrow. It's going to be a big one, and we hope to see you all there. Plus, remember, for the live lockdown quizzes, there is some really good prizes for the winners. So, no, all the prizes are good, but this one is a step up. So the live lockdown one, the winners will get a free 1-month pass to the Prince Charles Cinema for when it opens again here in London. And if you're not located in London, if you're somewhere else and you can't get to London, we will think of something for you. But it should be a good one. And it's gonna, what's good? We've got so many of them under our belt now that I'm not worried about the thing actually working.
No, I think it will work. It doesn't really matter at this point. We're already on our way, and you know what? It's a really good thing. I've noticed over the past couple of weeks, so many more people have been in contact with us and just responding to everything and sharing I'll put a video up or something and we get contrary opinions, and it's so good because it's just it feels a bit more like a big film community hanging out together, and I've just been really enjoying it. And if you run your own little quiz, your little pub quiz, good luck to you. But this is Filmageddon. So, I hope everyone who can join will join. And if you can't join, then it'll be available on our YouTube, which is youtube.com/Filmageddon afterwards, because some people can't make that time. But it's okay, because it'll be there with all the answers as well. So you can just play at home with your family, your friends, your dog, your cat, your chia pet, whatever people keep.
I saw that they're doing a chia baby Yoda for everyone out there.
Of course.
Well, that's not the only news I found out this week, Adam, because there's a lot of news from the world of entertainment, films, TV, all that stuff, and we have to get to it in the greatest segment on the internet. It's plucked from the headlines. That's right, everybody. Plucked from the headlines here with all the latest break. Oh, he fell off. I'm a headless chicken now. But luckily, chickens without their heads can indeed continue to survive in some sort of bewildered existence for at least a few more minutes. Mm-hmm. We have one chick over there, a nice party on Adam's side, but we have to get to the news because there's I was going to say there's a lot. There's not a lot of news out there this week, but there's some interesting news.
There is, I think so.
Yeah,
Jesus, this light. It's horrible.
It looks like my worst nightmare where you are.
It's basically it's like some sort of American government, would you like epilepsy?
You've made it worse. Right, first headline for today. We're taking this over from the Hollywood Reporter, and that is that there's going to be some more Tiger King coming to Netflix. And this is an exclusive that we've stolen, so it's not so exclusive anymore. Hey, Hollywood Reporter. So basically, I read this online earlier today that they're going to be making a new Tiger King episode on Netflix. And unlike the last one, which was that weird Joel McHale show where he Skyped everybody and really wasn't an episode of the Tiger King. It was more of a post show. This is supposedly going to be another episode, but the thing that makes it interesting, or maybe less interesting depending on your point of view, is that it's not going to be about Joe Exotic and that whole cast of characters. It's actually going to be about Siegfried and Roy and the tiger trainer who helped them out a bit, which it strikes me odd that they're not just referring to this as like a second series or a spin-off or something. They are just saying it's a new episode of the Tiger King, and it's going to be about, obviously, Siegfried and Roy. It was Roy who was mauled by the tiger and actually recently passed away due to coronavirus complications. But they were a big news story. Obviously, back in the day, they had this Vegas show, had all these tigers on stage performing with them, all sorts of wild animals. They lived with the tigers. They were quite a phenomenon, I would say, because at one point they were even going to make a CGI animated primetime TV show based on the lions and tigers. It was called like Father of the Pride and had like John Goodman as the main voice of the tiger. This was peak late 90s, early 2000s. It might have actually aired for a bit.
You've pulled me right back in. This sounded like absolute bollocks. And I mean, I think the whole idea of doing a fucking... They're basically... Tiger King has been such a success that now anyone who's got like, National Geographic or Animal Planet or whatever have any kind of like content to do with tigers, they're like, right, what can we chop together? You've got the access to that. We'll just call this The Real Tiger Kings. I got. Do you know what? I can see what Frank's queuing up, and this is gross. Why are they made of clay?
This is CGI, baby. This is, I forget what year this is from, but this is some of Father of the Pride. It actually did make it to television. This was apparently made by DreamWorks as well. Why would we be shocked by this? I think that was John Goodman there. I don't remember watching this as a kid. Like, it might have lasted like scary. 4 episodes. Oh, look, there they are. Wait, Casino, Siegfried and Roy, right there. Peppa Pig advert.
It looks like a Mr. Muscle kind of thing with hair.
This looks like what I see on like, if I'm flipping through channels on a Saturday in the UK and there's like a UK produced CGI show. This is like that same quality. It's like, oh, things haven't advanced so much from like the early 90s.
They're going for a Kimber the White Lion thing, but yeah, I mean, surely you just look at like what's come before you. Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah, I had to. So it was a 2004 to 2005 animated sitcom created by Jeffrey Katzenberg. Mm-hmm. And starred John Goodman, Cheryl Hines, Danielle Harris, Carl Reiner, Orlando Jones, and other people. People got paid for it. People made it.
It looks horrific.
I like how this spun off into this because this popped into my head.
I mean, I think it's interesting. Like Siegfried and Roy, it's probably, I don't know if it's because Siegfried has just died, or that's why it came to their attention, or maybe they were just working on it beforehand, and it's just coincidence and stuff. But I don't know. I find it a bit. I mean, even with Tiger King and everyone kind of like fucking jamming it in the knobs and stuff, it's like the guy's in prison for committing a crime. Yeah. And now if he was like not, it wasn't like, oh, you're not being like, he's funny. Oh, he's funny, isn't he? But what if it was like, oh, he went to prison because he was like sent a death threat to, I don't know, a child or something. You'd be like, oh, disgusting, pervert, blah, blah. But because it's like, he's funny, he still committed a crime. Why is he excused allegedly from like the fucking... well, not allegedly.
Oh, no, he did get convicted, so yeah.
He was convicted. Like, Michael Jackson is allegedly because he was never fully convicted. But we all know what happened. This guy was literally convicted, and now we know exactly what happened. There's no fucking get around it.
We need another trial. A retrial. Come on.
Yeah, every fucking criminal has a retrial. Fucking Lex Luthor had like retrials.
But look what happened with Making a Murderer. They actually got the nephew off because of that.
Yeah, whatever.
That's right. What was I?
Good luck. Yeah. Good luck to people who love it. And I liked Tiger King. I just think that it's a bit cheap by being like, we're doing Tiger King. What's this got to do with it? Well, nothing. Okay, well, I'm doing a sequel to the fucking Scorpion King. It's about a chicken that learns how to draw. What's that going to do with that? Nothing. But you watch it, won't you?
Well,
Maybe.
that's the big thing is obviously that despite all the positive reviews, it has actually been criticized for its like sensationalization of the people inside it, and especially
Mm.
surrounding like the animal abuse, because you're sort of laughing. I mean, you're intrigued, but you're also laughing at some of these characters, and some of them you're rooting for, some of them you're rooting against. But what you forget in all of it almost is that there's some massive animal abuse around the board going on, basically in all of these places, and this might
Yeah.
be more of that because apparently the producers have reached out to this guy named Chris Lawrence, who was a former Tiger handler for Siegfried and Roy, and he's basically had PTSD for like the past 15 years because of it.
Jesus.
Ever since that attack on Roy back in the day. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if it happens and how they go about making it. If they're just setting up the pieces now, and then when they're able to actually go and film again, they go and properly produce it. Because whatever they do, I really just don't want to see people in Skype windows on Netflix again. Because hey, on Twitch it works. On Twitch it's fantastic. Don't you tune away. But like, don't sell me a new episode of a show I liked and then you turn it on and it's like it is what it is. I get it. I get why. Like, it's a worldwide
Yeah.
thing, but don't try to cash in so quickly. And it was such a. I mean, that Joe McHale thing was just, like, base level cheesy. Like, it was all the stuff
Yeah.
that we knew already. You didn't really learn anything else. I learned more watching all the people pop on David Spade, like, 2 weeks before it than I did from the Netflix one.
Yeah, it reminded me very much of those. What was that like? I'm sure it's still going, but I've never seen it crop up anywhere in my feed. Didn't there was those site that was like AfterBuzz TV, and it would always be like they had their like programming about like people reviewing the shows that were on, and I only remember this because there was like wrestling with X-Pac, and I'm like, why are we interviewing him for everything? Regular guests. So it did feel like that kind of like let's make something. We need to capitalize on it. We need
Yeah.
to capitalize on it. I don't understand. I mean, in a way, it's just fan service. Netflix aren't going to resell that, not for at least a couple of years until it starts going downhill, I guess.
Mm.
But they're not going to resell it. Adding an extra episode doesn't actually mean that more people are going to end up buying Netflix for it. They're not going to go like, "What new Tiger King? Can't be asked. How
Mm.
many? 12 episodes? No, it's not for me. That there's a 13th. Oh, fucking yeah. So I don't really, I don't get why they only did it for fan service, and I actually thought that it was done quite well. All these shows and all these like comedy stuff that's kind of now taking what people do on like Twitch and stuff like that and turn it into like now it's on BBC One. It looks cheap. I
Mm.
thought this looked all right.
It seemed like they actually
Just
sent them cameras or something. Like, it
yeah,
didn't seem like they
yeah.
were
The
doing it
what?
on their cell phone.
Well, yeah. I think your man who lives in the fucking in like a garage essentially. Um,
With the fake
the
legs.
yeah, he'd said something about like I think he said a line about like being sent this phone or something. So it probably was just like phone ring light, fucking some headphones, and they've actually gone out and done it. But when it's just like yeah, I'm all for it. But when it's like BBC One, just like sounds like as bad as I do, then you've got the budget, so make it look good.
There you go.
I thought it was all right, and I like Joel McHale, so.
I like Joe McHale. I watched Community at the start just because of Joe McHale, and then I
Wow.
stopped watching because everyone else left. So there's a true story about me. And until next time, everybody. No, let's go on to the next news story, which is maybe a sign of things to come for a lot of us. But Korean cinemas are going to be testing contact-free tech for the post-coronavirus era. We all sort of had an idea things like this would come in. I mean, you're already being encouraged to use like contactless payment pretty much everywhere, but this is going to
Yeah.
be taking it to the next level. Apparently, down in South Korea, they're going to be testing out all this new sort of technology, sort of voice ordering, delivery, like service to your seats, to the concession area, like There will be no contact with people until you're in the cinema, sitting right on top of each other, I'm sure. But yeah, no, it's just an interesting thing. Service in 22 of its 130 complexes. They're talking about like how basically the cinema going levels were very low since the pandemic started to hit. But it just goes on to explain that they're going to be bringing all this stuff, as in reserve scan tickets. Snack bars have been replaced with LED-controlled pickup boxes, which deliver food items ordered through an app. All this sort of stuff, which I'm sure is probably going to be coming to the West probably when cinemas start opening. I mean, people are going to just want to do, like, hand people money and get handed food a lot less than what they did in the past, even if, like, everything seems like it's going all right at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think contactless payment anyway is spreading, I think rightfully, but obviously there's the sort of conspiracy in you where it's like, well, it could just be like China where it's all linked to a government app. Yeah, I don't know. It sounds interesting. The only thing I'd say is that, like, if you're a cinema, you don't make a lot of money off tickets. You make a lot of money off your concessions. Hence the rush to adapt, cinemas to adapt and go like, well, okay, so we'll make it so that our side of the business is, as future proof essentially, and brings people back. But it does make me worry a little bit about going like, well, we don't need people to do the food now because it'll be all automated. We don't need people to do this because of that. And it just becomes a chance to possibly take a couple more people out of the line in work. Obviously, when you've got something like a repertory cinema that has, they're still using film reels, you'll always need eyes on the subject. And there's always a need to have, like, I mean, fuck me, to actually have an improvement in how in the equipment that people who work at cinemas are given, like personal protective equipment, would be a revelation. Because you've worked in cinemas, I've worked in cinemas, I've worked up north, I've worked in London, and it's all been shite. And that's fucking cinemas I love, hint hint, and cinemas I hate, view.
Hint hint.
Yeah, View, and then one in East London. Yeah, they've always been shit. It's always been the worst shitty brush, and they might suggest gloves, but there's never anything else. And the turnaround time has always been so quick to clean. There's always been thing.
You've got like seconds to flip around a cinema, and like there's no way you can top to bottom clean a cinema to be like spotless in the amount of time you have between showings. Like that. No, that's a good point. Like you sort of say is that. I mean, moving forward, do most screens squeeze in about 4 shows a day, 5 if they're lucky? Does that have to change to, you're only getting 3 shows a day with a solid like 45 minutes to an hour between each show, or more? Because these cinemas need to be clean. Like everything is gonna, until there's a vaccine, everything sort of just needs to be properly cleaned, disinfected. Gone are the days of being like, fuck that, we've only got like 30 seconds. Just sweep the popcorn under the seat. Yeah.
Guilty as charged. The thing as well of that is that there needs to be a culture change. I've never gone to the cinema in South Korea. I've never been to the cinema in South Korea. I've never been to South Korea. Maybe one day. But I've been to the cinema over here in Thailand, and I can tell you that the difference in what a screen looks like when the lights come up compared to what a screen looks like when the lights come up in anywhere in London or anywhere back home in Wigan is fucking night and day, because the culture here would be like, I better tidy up after myself a little bit. Yeah. And over there, it's just like, put it on the floor. And if that's going to continue, if the pigs are going to still continue to act like pigs,
and they will,
then nothing's going to change. It needs to be a whole, like, okay, we need to all start like tidying up after each other. And none of these more puff pieces about like, well, the Japanese fans, when they visited the football ground, they cleaned up after themselves. Isn't that good? It's like, that should be fucking bare minimum. Take your shit with you. Yeah. And they just won't do it. There is a little bit of a thing over here where it's kind of like, I mean, it's already been implemented, but when you order tickets, like when you pick up in London, you order your tickets on an app, you go to the little printout thing, you scan, or you put a code in. Here, you scan a QR code, you get your tickets. Or even if you don't want to do that, you can just have the QR code on your phone, and you go up to this cinema's quite close to us. You go up to these. It looks like airport kind of gates, or like something that it looks like immigration
Yeah.
gates. And you go up and you scan your phone, and yet someone stands there, and then the gates open and you walk in. And it's a level of that where you're like, okay, I guess no one has to rip your ticket. But then part of it's like, the fuck was the point in that? It's such a weird system. So if they're gonna change the culture of cinema, it needs to be the patrons need to fucking change. The cinemas need to stop being cheap bastards. But also, we can't lose people who work in these jobs because the people who work at cinemas are usually the ones that actually make the cinema half decent.
Yeah.
Because the people at the very top of each of them don't give a flying shite. They just want the little bit of money, and that's true if you've ever worked at one, unless you've worked in a magical one, which.
We worked in a magical one. It was magic. I like magic. Sprinkles of dust. Let's move on to another bit of news here, which comes from Lad Bible. This is a place where we don't normally check out, but Lad Bible had an interview with Andy Serkis, who's saying that the next Batman film will be darker than the previous Batman films, because Batman's got to be dark and gritty. This, of course, is the Batman film where Batman looks like that. It's dark because is that a gun that makes up the bat symbol? And that looks nothing like Robert Pattinson, so good job on the stunt double casting there. Anyway, yeah, he was basically asked whether fans should expect the next Batman film to be darker or broodier Batman, and he said, "I would say that's not far from the truth." And then he goes on to say, "It's very much about the emotional connection between Alfred and Bruce. That's really at the center of it." It's really exquisite script that Matt has written, and it's just like, why? I don't go to see a Batman movie for Alfred and Bruce's relationship. I'm sorry.
Nope.
And I don't want to see a Batman movie like that. I don't care if it's an Oscar-winning movie. It's not the Batman movie I want to see. I want to see a Batman movie, not a Batman and decrepit butler, which the decrepit butler in this case is Andy Serkis, so of course he likes it. Oh yeah, it's all about me and Batman. They should call it Alfred and Batman is what they should call it.
He'll be the same guy. I love Andy Serkis, and I love what he's done with stuff like the Apes films and everything.
Yeah.
And the guy, I think, will go down in film history as someone who didn't get his fucking didn't get the whatever, you know what I mean?
His piece of the pie. I don't know.
His piece of the pie. He didn't get the credit that he deserved. But he also talked about that when he's talking about playing that fucking guy in Avengers, and it's like, yeah, it's a really great story. He's a really great character.
There's so much depth to him.
Can't remember it. Every actor who does anything they do always says, "Oh, this part is amazing." They're there to sell the film, of course they do, and it might be good. I'd look forward to it. It's a different direction, but every film since fucking Batman Begins has had an interviewer being like, "Is it darker?
Make it darker.
Sure. Make it even darker. I don't want to see it. Just have it so it's just black screen."
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe they'll just bring down the contrast or bring up the contrast. Like, yeah, just actually make it visually darker. Like, we don't want any. That's what the action will become, because obviously it doesn't look like anyone will be able to move around in that bat suit. So they'll just all the action's gonna be. But if you turn the lights off.
The shoulder pads look like those kind of elbow pads you get from fucking when you first start rollerblading as a kid. It looks quite. I don't mind that with a suit like that, and I think one of the big missteps with say something like when you have Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire and you show him kind of okay, there's a big leap in logic, but his kind of I'm designing the suit and everything, and then it becomes oh, he's got his suit, but I'm pretty sure in that fucking The Amazing Spider-Man he just has a suit like that, and you're like, you didn't even show any of the process. So I don't mind seeing a superhero suit that looks a bit shit. And,
a work in progress.
That might be the final version. We don't know. So
could just be his motorcycle riding suit. That's why Batman has a lot of different suits. It should be interesting. I mean, again, we don't know much about it apart from that like official little teaser they made, like that 15-second thing. And obviously they had to halt production. But yeah, I do look forward to it. Again, I'm going to take what Andy Serkis says with a grain of salt. Like, if it's darker, it's fine. But it's just sort of going against that thing with DC where they're very divergent on what they want to do with. At first, it was like, we're doing the whole Justice League in this connected universe, and it's going to be a bit more gritty and down to earth. Then they're like, oh no, screw that, that didn't work. Now we're going to do like Suicide Squad. That's going to be like fun, and it's still a bit like dark and everything. Okay, that really didn't work. Okay, now do Harley Quinn. That'll be fun and lighthearted and like, you know, a little serious as well. The people like that, okay. And then Joker, no, gritty, super dark, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, that worked. Fuck. Okay. But just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks for these films, apparently.
Yeah, but I think I don't mind that when it's like, you know, Joker can be whatever it wants to be by itself. That's fine. But, and, you know, I quite liked Harley Quinn, whatever, and the massive emancipation of Birds of Prey. I quite liked that, and I think it had its own tone and stuff. That's fine, and make a Batman film and do what you want, but then the problem is that they're still following that kind of money Marvel need to force everything together because everyone has to buy the toy, force them together. We need to see the Justice League. Can't blame them. It's money in the fucking, you know, it's their product in their own pocket. And why would you miss out on making a Justice League film? In that case, you can't have all these wildly different things unless maybe you can just give it to some fucking mad director or whatever. Or just have each director who's worked with like Birds of Prey and then the upcoming Suicide Squad and everything like that, and this Batman film, have them all direct their own scenes in a Justice League film, and it just looks like
that's a fantastic bombastic idea. Like that's like the one thing we've not. I mean, we've had like guest directors for scenes, and like famously, I think there was one for, or they wanted to do one for Revenge of the Sith. I remember reading about this where the General Grievous and Obi-Wan fight scene was originally supposed to be directed by Steven Spielberg, but then he was just like too busy to do it. But like they've done that, so you eye roll as if like it would have made that film any worse. It would have made it 100 times better.
Fair play.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like when you're like, this action scene, like, yeah, who is it? Like, oh my God, who are we going to get? It's like, and it's Steven Spielberg. It's like, well, yeah, if we're going to have a 10-minute thing about Grievous talking about like, I don't have a dad. You're like, yeah, okay, we get it. Oh, here we go again.
But yeah, if they that would be a great idea. If you have all these different characters coming together, get the people that did their individual films, make them all. They have to like direct in tandem. Any scene that is like whoever has the most lines of dialogue in that scene, that's the director that goes in. And then it comes to
and there's 4 different. This is getting batshit. So you basically, I mean, it will be batshit.
That's the name of the film.
Batshit, and just have like 4 different versions of a scene, so you do them all. This is like the lockdown.
Everyone's got their own camera crew as well, so everyone shoots around each other, and they have to CGI out the other camera crews, like Henry Cavill's mustache.
Yeah, exactly. And some could just flash in and stuff. Yeah, have that, and have like have 4 different films essentially going on at the same time, and then mash it in together. But don't release all the films separately. They can like, you know, they can do that again. Release the gun cut, and then it'll be like his version of what he wanted the film to be. You basically create a film. You create 4 different films, 5 different films. I mean, no one's gonna do a fucking Cyborg film.
Do that. 5 different films. Each director's following their character. Then they get to the crossover scenes, and then each director shoots their coverage of it. Release all the films on the same weekend, and then
you've got the whole box office. One ticket, and you want to keep a clean cinema. That's my seat for the day. Yep. That's mine.
And then
so you don't move from that one.
It gets up to the final battle where everything finally comes together, and then at the end of all of them, it's a to be continued. Then you get like a 3-hour-long battle movie that is everybody directed.
Exactly. There you go. This is. Listen, Warner Brothers, if you're listening, just let us know. Let us know. It's on the email, filmageddonfilmquiz@gmail.com. You can get it just down below in the links.
Yes. And if anyone from WB wants to donate with a coffee, we a bat coffee. Yeah. So there you go. Andy Serkis said some stuff, but you know what? He's directing Venom too, so good for him, I say. I can't wait.
Good luck. I can't wait either.
Let's go on to this isn't really news. This is just something that was quite funny that came across. Is David Lynch is reporting the weather now.
What?
Yeah. So basically, David Lynch on his YouTube channel, he just decided to release a video yesterday where he talks about the weather. And it's not very long. It's about a minute and a half if you got the chance and you want to know what the weather was yesterday in LA, go back and watch it. It's got 91,000 views. Makes me kind of depressed with what we do sometimes. But and I don't know what camera filter he's got on, but
it looks like a wedding that I shot once for Luke's brother.
Directed by Christopher Nolan.
There's five different versions of his. There's 5 different versions of his weather report, just depending on what it's going to be that day, and then he mashes them all together.
It's just one of those things, like, you see all these celebrities and stuff doing a lot of different things. Obviously, they're all still trying to pop up on, like, the weird online versions of, like, late night shows and things like that. And, like, I've watched some of, like, the John Krasinski Good News show, and there's always, like, a random actor showing up to do, like, a little 5-second weather report. Like, I want to say, like, De Niro did one, Emma Stone did one. So it's just like, I still need to get my face out there. And that's what we do. We get our face out there, like, 3 times a week now, so it's great. But
don't start pointing fingers, or there will be the more pointing back. You know what I mean? Like this.
Now, there's one more bit. Again, this isn't really news, but apparently there's been a lot of online drawing classes going on from like famous companies and production companies and things like that. So the official Snoopy channel has wants to teach people how to draw Snoopy, which I never thought was that hard. But this person makes it look easy. But I think in practice it would be pretty difficult to do a perfect Snoopy. Do you think drawing a Snoopy would be quite hard?
Yes, I can't really draw that well. So, and I also find, like, I think I spoke to you about this, like, people who like, I spoke to Luke about it. People who like Peanuts, I think is cool. It's fine. Peanuts is funny, different characters in it, cool art style. People who like Snoopy, like just like Snoopy, it's weird as fuck.
As in, like,
it's the worst character.
Well, he's like an antagonist, really.
he can be. No, I just think people who like really like Snoopy the dog, like, oh, I've got my Snoopy shirt, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's. Oh, I like Peanuts too, and it's like, this is my Snoopy hat.
I like when people wear
okay.
Joe Cool t-shirts. Yeah, so people, you could learn how to do Snoopy here, and then we also saw a little drawing lesson from Studio Ghibli. You want to learn how to sort of paint Totoro? You could do that.
Oh, this is going to depress me because it's probably like calligraphy, kind of like brush and everything. Yeah, there we go. Fucking, I couldn't even do this. This is embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm terrible at painting, but no, it's. I mean, this is like a minute and a half video. No, it's a minute video.
Pikachu.
Yeah, who could it be? Is it just a mountain? I can't understand what he's saying either. But Totoro seems pretty easy to draw.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, there you go. Fucking, he's done it already.
Yeah, done. Easy. Done. Yeah, so it's not, like we said, it's not the most exciting week in the news, but there are some of the things that found us to be interesting. We found them to be interesting. They didn't find us to be interesting. And there it is. And this has been Plucked from the Headlines. Bok, 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 bok. That's it. We plucked from the headlines. Adam, before we wrap up the show, I thought, you know what those 2 last pieces reminded me of? Those 2 last drawing pieces?
Talent, skill,
that's
originality.
Yeah, yes, in some ways. But in other ways, it reminded me of when we said that we would try to draw each other last week during the podcast.
Yeah, forgot about that.
So I submit to you that for the next few minutes, well, we're going to briefly remind people about the quiz, but while we do that, we have to speed draw each other.
Okay, how long have we got? Like seconds?
Well, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes. Who knows? We'll see how long it takes to get
2
through
minutes?
this. So, yeah, remember, everybody, that tomorrow is the Filmageddon film quiz, the live lockdown film quiz. This is going to be a good one. We said it at the top of the show. We're going to say it again. It is going to be all new questions, 8 new rounds. Like we said, obscured round, famous film quotes, a couple of picture rounds, box office mofo comes back. What else are we going to do? We want to have everybody take part. It's going to be fun. The first time we did a live lockdown quiz, there was like 1,500 people. I mean, it would be...
Yes.
How amazing would it be if we had 1,500 people again? I don't think it'll happen, but I'm putting the challenge out to anyone watching here. Try to get some of your friends together. If anybody was scared off from the first one when we had all the technical difficulties, don't worry. Let's come back to it because I think, we've done it for the past few weeks. You could tell that we're both trying to focus on drawing as well here. We've done it for the last couple of weeks. Everything's been going well. I think people have been enjoying it. And it's been fun. I also noticed, Adam, that we're actually on Timeout now. We're on Timeout's website. What? Yeah.
Since when?
You have to search for it. You have to basically search Filmageddon. And they did put a typo in Filmageddon. They made it FLL Mageddon. So
Filmageddon. That sounds like Filmy Cracking or I don't know, something equally as this. I can't draw a hat. I've just figured out I can't draw a hat. It looks like a piece of newspaper, like an old newspaper has appeared on your head.
All right, that is time. Time. We have to call time. Time.
Oh, wait, I haven't drawn even eyes.
Now you haven't even drawn me eyes. I'm done with mine.
I was too busy listening to what you were saying. I was like, oh, okay.
Right. I will hold up mine first then. I'll give you a few more seconds. Here is...
Let me just do your dots on it.
There you go. That's you, Adam.
That's not far off. To be fair.
If I compare it next to the real you, look at that. No, it's the same thing.
He's frowning.
You're always frowning.
I'm not. I was smiling, man. It does not look like you. I'm embarrassed.
All right, wait.
Okay.
I'm gonna put up full screen. Here we go. Let's see the reveal.
Okay. Here you go. This is you.
Oh my god.
That's evil. I could do a better job. I think.
I didn't realize I had a heroin addiction. Dear Lord.
No, because here's the thing. Like, I don't really draw like people. I always just draw these like weird skull things. So like, I'd only realized like towards the end, I was like, how do you draw a mouth? To be honest. So then I tried.
All right, I've got an idea. Let's hold up our images, and we're gonna sign off this Vodcast as each other.
Okay.
So
wait, do I have to do your voice?
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Okay. Well, since you are Frank, you take the lead here with the sign off.
Okay, howdy y'all. Thanks very much for listening to the... Wait, no, you're not from there. You're from New York. Hey, what's it to you boys and girls out there and people, everybody, thanks for watching the Vodcast. Of course, that means you, because you got hands now as well. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. Baba Ganoush. You can also find us on YouTube, youtube.com/Filmageddon. And on Twitch, here on Twitch, you hear that? Hey, if you like what we're doing, buy us a coffee. And hey, listen, you also got the Filmageddon quiz. Our live lockdown is tomorrow, 8 p.m. That's 8 p.m. UK time. Or should I say, Limey time. Hey, how you doing, Adam?
Dead. I'm dead good over here, but yeah, I'm gonna just go have a pint and I'm gonna go. But all right, I love you.
Hey, I love you too, Adam. You know, I always say you're one of my favorites.
I'm done with this. All right, everybody. Yeah, thanks for watching. We will be back tomorrow with the live lockdown quiz, 7:30 p.m. And then we'll start the thing at 8 o'clock. Get there. No technical problems this time, we swear. It's going to be a great one. 8 new rounds, all new questions, and it's going to be a pretty hard one as well. So we'll see you then. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.